Patrick Reusse, LaVelle E. Neal, and Sid Hartman on this.
Starring LaVelle and O'Neal, who will do 2/3 of the time. He thinks a sentence is a paragraph.
Welcome, sir.
Sid, the ratings show that when I'm on, more females watch the show than any time ever.
Oh, is that right?
Right.
Yeah. You counted on me? You took a survey?
Yeah, I did.
Sydney, well, I'll start with you then, okay? The Twins, this thing, they won 4 straight in there. It doesn't feel like it. They got piped today 7-1, almost no hit. Your take as we head towards the trade deadline?
Oh, they're definitely going to trade Morneau.
What can you get for him?
Unless they can get nothing for him. If they get anything for him within reason, I'm convinced they got to trade him for this reason.
Last week you said they're not going to trade him.
Huh?
Last week you said they're not going to trade him.
I didn't think they would.
Okay.
But Ryan made a statement that he said, I'd be very surprised if I didn't make a trade before July 31st. And who is the number one guy is going to trade?
Jamie Carroll will get traded too.
Carroll?
Yeah.
Jared Burton, maybe?
Maybe Burton, yeah.
He's pitching better now.
He's got a last couple of times he's been okay.
I'm going to say this about the Morneau situation. Yes, the Twins should look into trading him. But the thing you have to realize is that you just can't say that, well, we could trade him and sign him during the offseason, okay? Now, yes, he has ties to this area. He also has a home in Arizona. And once a player becomes a free agent and finds out how much teams want him, sometimes it becomes too irresistible to move on.
Yeah, that's very true because they think they're locked into Minnesota, Patrick, until somebody else shows up at their door.
Well, if I wanted him back next year, I wouldn't trade him.
If you want him back.
I don't think I want him back. Sorry.
That's a bigger question.
I love you, but
why wouldn't you want him back?
Because he hasn't done anything.
No.
He's knocked in a few runs, but he's a shadow of what he was.
He got nobody better.
Well,
not even close.
Yes.
But you're talking about.
And you see what it's gotten him.
I like having Morneau in the clubhouse. He's a great guy, and Gardy relies on him to straighten out some of the younger guys when they make mistakes. But eventually, if he's not producing, you got to move on and try something else.
Yeah, you're talking about 270, 14 home runs is the way we would project this year. Well,
right. He may end up with 90 RBIs, which isn't bad, but you need that power thread. And
not
it hasn't
producing
been there.
Compared to the other guys?
Well, okay, you
With
compare it to
you're not winning with them. You might as
to.
well. I think Sano's going to end up being a first baseman.
The tough thing about this is that, sorry, the tough thing about this is you're not going to get a lot from Morneau because he's going to be a rental player. Because whoever he plays with is going to be for a half a season. That's going to affect how much that team's going to be willing to pay the Twins. And how much of that team's going to have to take on salary. Are the Twins willing to take on half the salary? Are they willing to take on the total salary? That's going to affect what they can get. And I'm telling you, it may not be worth dealing him if you can't get something decent in return. You want another...
You're right, Sid. That was a long sentence.
You want another Brett Jacobson?
Sid, you're up again.
What's that?
You get to talk again. Go ahead.
I say that they're going to trade him for sure. Because if some club gets him, they got a chance to re-sign him next year. He'll re-sign here for less money than any other team.
Sid,
but you don't want him back.
Well, no, keep him then, because you're going to get Jim Hoey and Brett Jacobson. Who cares?
Or Todd Walker for Todd Sears.
Who wants another load of nothing?
Yeah.
Who wants another Eduardo Escobar? You might as well keep Morneau for $2.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Twins are going to toss out $4 million to Morneau, and the team will offer him 6 or 7, and say, "Honey, I know you're from this area, but I'm getting double for what the Twins are offering me."
Right. And when push comes to shove, you look at the numbers, and that's what you do. Sid.
I hear Pittsburgh wants him pretty bad. That's what I heard from a pretty good source, and that they'd replace that Jones, who was
ironically
former Twin
for a long time, hitting about 250.
He did well for Pittsburgh.
He's got more homers than Morneau.
That's the trouble. They say they're going to Tampa Bay because they got James Loney. Well, they're not taking the salary, but James Loney's more productive than Morneau.
He's batting over 300, and he plays the hell out of first base.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unless you go, okay, you can DH him, play first base, play every day that way.
The thing is that maybe intrigue teams to trade for him is that he is a veteran and he's got some playoff experience.
And let's be honest, on this Twins roster, there's just nobody else that's
Here
going to value out there. That's what we end up talking about.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sid.
Who is going to play first base for him next
year?
year?
They'll call up Parmalee and put him at first base.
For the rest of this year. Next year, who knows? Who knows who's going to play first base? But here's the trouble. If the Twins don't trade him, the public's going to be mad because they didn't trade him, And if they do trade him, they're going to be mad because they didn't get anything. So it's a catch-22.
Right.
But at least you get something if you trade him. And if you don't sign him after this year, you get nothing. And
Yeah,
the Twins,
but Maxie, sometimes nothing is better than something.
How about
Exactly
Perkins?
right.
In his
If
case,
it's Brett Jacobson
Jim Hoey
or
and
Todd
Brett
Sears,
Jacobson,
yeah.
nothing is better than something.
That's
maybe they need to revisit it. I'd go low-level prospects.
Unless you can pull off
Class A kind of
like
guy.
when they traded
I
Brad
wouldn't even
Buchanan.
try to get a
when they traded Brad Buchanan, they got Jason Bartlett. Maybe you can luck out on that. So maybe
That's
all
a good
got
deal.
How
ends
about
up playing.
Perkins? Will you trade him?
I don't think Perkins is going to get traded. There's indications that the two untouchable twins are Joe Mauer and Glenn Perkins.
Well, Joe's untouchable because
He has no trade.
Joe wants to be.
Right.
Next year at this time, if this thing keeps going, I wouldn't be surprised if Mauer said, hey, Boston comes up with enough.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Joe's got a good thing
I
here.
don't think there's no chance of it.
Nah, Cretan won't let Joe leave after he has those twins. They need those twins.
I don't think Maddie
they'll
will let him.
end
I
up
don't think
there.
Maddie will let him
15
leave.
years. 15
Take a break,
years they're
come
going to be
back,
on the
stay with
varsity,
us.
man.
No
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Call 1-866-CAMBRIA. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Bar Abilene at Lagoon and Fremont in uptown Minneapolis. And Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL, proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
The best things in life can't be DVR'd. Canterbury Park and Mystic Lake. Bigger purses, better racing.
Enjoy live racing all weekend, and then for more good times, head to Mystic Lake.
Audi A4 drivers have spoken. And they rank the A4 highest in total quality index in its class. Experience the new Audi A4 at your local dealer today.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs, fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second to none happy hour, and great outdoor dining, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
I bet they don't lose
There it
that.
is, J.D. Hoyt's. Yeah, that's where you'll stop before next year's All-Star game. Stop on by J.D. Hoyt's anytime. This time of year is a great time. Sit outside, sit inside, visit with Pat and the staff. It's a lot of fun.
I'm
Welcome
really,
back to the sports show.
Yeah, you got to talk about the All-Star game. I'm really worried about the future of the home run derby, which was really good this year because of Cespedes, and now he's got a bad wrist. And he hasn't played since. So
Whoops.
You want to hit home runs in this park?
if the perception is he got hurt in the home run derby,
Whoops.
they're going to have a hard time getting anybody to play a hit in it next year.
That's a possibility, but there's going to be guys who want to win that thing. There's a lot of egos that come involved with that home run derby, and guys are going to want to show out and try to win.
Is there a big prize for the winner?
No, not
Pride.
really.
There's a check in his name donated to a charity, right?
Yeah,
That's what I
Morneau
think
won
is,
it,
yeah.
and that's, of course, the year that, what's his name, put on a show.
You know what they should
Josh
do?
Hamilton.
You know what they should do with the thing? It should be one round less. They should have 8 guys hit, and then
It does drag on.
Then the 2 finalists hit, and then they don't have to kill themselves.
Well, remember the NBA, though. That started with superstars all wanting to participate in the
Oh, yeah.
slam dunk contest.
Now you
and
got
they
Ro-
try to use guys to market them so they,
Now Rodney Williams will never play a minute in the league, but he'll be the
slam dunk
dunk
contest,
contest. Yeah.
I was at the All-Star game. I was telling you what, the crowd was enthralled with Cespedes, so how much damage he was going to do as that tournament kept going on, because he was hitting some balls there. And Twins fans would be happy just to see some guys with some man muscles hitting the ball out of the park instead of the team they're watching right now.
Yeah. Sydney, do you think Nishioka set this franchise back in terms of being gun shy about, going out and taking risks?
I don't know. I just think there's only one way this team's going to win.
What is it?
They don't have the players in their system that are going to be ready for at least a couple, 3 years. Is go out and sign 2 big-time free agent pitchers.
Who wants to
Sid,
come here
there's
that
no-
would be worth the money? That would
Plus,
be
look
Get
at the
money,
list.
they'll come here.
Look at the list for next year.
they're locking them up, man. If you're
There's
Verlander or
nobody.
Scherzer, they'll lock you up early.
And plus, like the Royals were in the same situation with the Twins several years ago. They went out and overpaid for Gil Mesh. I think they gave him, $14 million a year?
He ended up giving it back.
Where did Gil Mesh end up getting the Royals? Where did they get him? So.
Right, exactly, because if you had one pitcher to a team that needs 3,
Yeah.
what do you got? That's the problem, Sydney.
Yep.
Well,
Most of the good ones are developed.
Yeah, and they're locked up too. I mean, these
Yeah,
teams
once
don't
you
let
get
them
them,
go.
you keep 'em.
Yeah,
It's
in
great.
every club?
Well, no, I mean, but through the year, but the current game, most of them are developed and kept.
what's your take on Tampa?
Tampa's that's an amazing thing. They had a bad owner down there, and they ran him out of there. And
Namoli.
guy bought the club for peanuts. They don't draw flies. You watch the games on TV, there's nothing but empty seats. They get about a $40 million revenue sharing every year, and they keep on coming up with good young players. It's amazing.
They're on fire
You talk
right now.
about good farm systems. Who's got a better one they have?
Yeah,
I will say this, though. Tampa Bay had to suck for many years before they got all those high draft picks that drafted David Price,
But
Jeremy Harold.
they've turned it over now. I mean, they've
Yeah.
turned
Turned it over,
those
and
guys-
heck, they
You know
lost
what they do?
Hamilton.
You know what they do? They trade a guy a year early.
Yep.
They never trade him a year late. They always trade him a year
Oh,
early.
you're saying they're being proactive.
Yeah.
I never heard the Twins.
Trade him.
Well, that's
I never
what
heard the
Oakland was.
Twins being
Remember, Oakland
proactive.
kept moving Mulder and every Hudson and every pitcher, and
Yeah.
before they hit the hit
Mulder
the
went
wall.
to St. Louis
What,
and broke
what are
down.
people going to see here for side events at the All-Star game next year? What impressed you?
You know what? It was a great event. And
Obviously, we see the things
I tell
on
you, there's
TV.
an advantage that Minnesota's going to have over New York because you have to get on the shuttle bus and travel all over the place. Everything's going to be compacted in that downtown area. There's going to be a fan fest that's going to come in the week before the All-Star game. There's going to be stuff for fans and kids to do, and it's going to be vibrant and exciting in downtown Minneapolis for the All-Star game. It's going to be a lot of fun. The ticket prices, I'm telling you, folks, get ready. They're not going to be cheap. All right,
Sticker shock, huh?
Because you're going to have to buy a group of tickets that includes the Futures game, the Home Run Derby, and the All-Star game, and get ready to fork out
Are they
4
gonna buy it
figures.
here?
It's going to cost $1,000 for that ticket strip. So start saving your money now because it's not going to be cheap, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a big party for about a week in Minnesota as we celebrate baseball here. I had a good time in New York.
We'll look at Buxton when he plays in the Futures game or something.
Yeah, he may come back for a second year because I don't think he's going to be able to make the majors next year. So.
Yeah. By the way, I was talking to Doug Minkiewicz the other day, and he said he played with Buxton. He played with Torrey, or manages Buxton. He played with Torrey at the same age. He says no comparison. Buxton is way ahead of Torrey Hunter at the same age.
Torrey didn't figure out how to hit till you got to AAA. Buxton
time.
has an approach to hitting that's way beyond Torrey at A-ball level.
Neal Diamond, they brought out some talk that you could get moved into the 7th inning stretch next year at the All-Star game as we kind of salute our locals. Any thoughts?
You come up with everything.
I tell you, ever since the bombing in Boston, you can't get rid of Neal Diamond.
Hey,
if they're playing a baseball game, he's everywhere.
At the old Metrodome, whenever there was a dignitary or a politician singing the 7th inning stretch, Sid somehow climbed over that wall to get to that little well to sing the 7th, take me out to the ball
Remember
game.
that? Yeah, that was,
Exactly.
that was a tradition by itself back in the day. Back after this, stay with us.
Yes.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Allery's, the original St. Paul sports bar, now with 65 beers on tap.
If you're putting off getting hearing aids until they become invisible, you'll love Invisible hearing aids. Loaded with our most advanced hearing technologies, Invisible hearing aids are designed to improve hearing in noisy environments, sound more natural, eliminate whistling, and let you talk comfortably on the phone. Choose from 2 styles. Both sound great and are so small only you'll know you're wearing them.
Visit one of our 9 Twin Cities locations. We're also in Duluth and Virginia. Or call 1-866-488-4434 today to find the location nearest you. The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Case Law. For all your legal needs, not your typical law firm. Griffin Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than to need us and not know us. And Perfect Ash, that tobacco place in Lilydale where you're only a stranger once.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing. He has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad's an alien.
The highly advanced Audi A6, named to car and drivers 10 best. Experience exceptional value on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
There it is. Stop on by anytime right off of General Mills Boulevard. You see those rings on the back of cars? Lots of people driving an Audi just doing inventory when you're out there. There's a reason. Record sales numbers because they got great vehicles. Welcome back to the Sports Show. Sid, last night you told me Phil Mickelson did not have a chance.
I never talked to you.
No, you did not talk to me.
You
But
hate
you didn't
Phil
even know
Mickelson
her.
because he never returns your phone
What'd you
calls.
think? Yeah, what'd you think?
Why do you
of
make up these things?
Because they're funny. It's funny to make up things and get you.
I'm not a golf expert. Mr. Reusse is a golf
Okay, but I
expert.
did defer to you first, just for clarification for this segment.
I
Okay.
do not qualify as a golf expert.
But I did ask you first, so you can't say after
Unless
the show.
Phil Mickelson
come
returned
to
his
me
phone
first.
call.
Patrick?
Well, the one British Open I covered was on that golf course in 2002, and that year it had rained some, and it wasn't nearly as difficult as it was this time because they'd driest spring in 80 years there, and everything was. They just let nature do what he wants to do, and it was harder than hell. And they put a little sprinkle of water on the green once in a while, but the greens were
The
awful.
private course?
For the whole course.
Yeah.
Guys-
Very private. So private, if you know a woman, don't take her with you. They don't have any, no women members.
There were players hitting drives that were right down the fairway, and they would roll off the fairway into a bunker. It was so tough.
But the ball was running 100 yards after it was off the ground. But Phil played unbelievable. It was the best he's ever played in his life.
What kicked in?
Well, he just made a putt. He got going on. He made birdied 4 of the last 6 holes, and he made some putts, made some long putts, which were very difficult there because everybody was afraid to hit it hard enough to get it to the hole because if they missed the hole, you're going to go 8-10 feet past.
Isn't this true? Mickelson's one of the old-time golfers. I mean, the name golfers. And this seems to me the first time some veteran golfers won a tournament in a long time.
Well, not really.
What do you
Watson
think?
2 years ago had
Watson
a
had
chance
to
to
run,
win the British
yeah.
Open at age 61 if he would have
I think
parred
couples got
18.
off to a fast start last year.
But Phil is, I thought his time, he's 43 now, 42 or 3, and that's getting up there in golf. But he's got a great, when he's he could be bad, miss cuts, but when he's good, he's very, very good. And now he's won 5 of the majors, and he's probably one of the top 10 of all time.
What time did you get up this morning to watch the British Open?
Yeah, about 6:30.
How about that? I was up about 6:45, 7 o'clock. The leaderboard going into the final round was fantastic because you had Woods, you had Mahan, you had Westwood, you had Head Extension, you had Mickelson, you had one of the Johnsons, you had just a powerhouse leaderboard. It was a great. Everybody thought there was going to be a playoff coming at the end of the 4th round. The funny part is Mickelson, after the 3rd round, said, I think even is going to get you in contention. I think anybody who goes 1 under has a chance to win. And look what happened. He wins with 3 under. The second place guy was at even.
Tiger set a new world record for his number of audible curses.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Ooh, he had a few today.
Yeah.
He can't do it anymore, can he?
Well, he was pretty good this week.
I think Tiger's in that group now where he's like on any given weekend he could jump up and win one, but he doesn't have that dominant run that he won.
I saw a stat today. Last 6 majors, Sid, his last 6 majors, he's
Mr.
11 under. 11 under in the first and second round, and 23 over in the 3rd and 4th.
My goal,
I got a question
my goal is
for
to replace
Patrick
Reusse as the confirmed hacker.
The Ryder Cup versus the majors. The Ryder Cup's the next one that comes here.
Ryder
Which
Cup's-
one would you enjoy as a spectator more?
The majors.
Yeah.
I like, I think the Ryder Cup's fine, but,
I had a blast at the PGA when it was here at Hazeltine. It was a great week of golf.
Here's my worry about the Ryder Cup at Hazeltine, though. It's, it's a huge event, but the first Olympic golf tournament is going to be held in Brazil, like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
The first ever, and
Yeah.
all those guys.
You think it couldn't?
All those guys are going to be there, and I'm wondering if we might have a couple of bailouts. Maybe, probably not, but I think it's going to take a little of this pizzazz out of it.
You might have to make a phone call or two, buddy.
Get that Olympic thing canceled.
Yeah.
I'll go to you.
Take a break. Come back.
You can
The
get anything
Sports
done.
Show.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Case Law. For all your legal needs, not your typical law firm. Griffin Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than to need us and not know us. And Perfect Ash, that tobacco place in Lilydale where you're only a stranger once.
If you're putting off getting hearing aids until they become invisible, you'll love invisible hearing aids. Loaded with our most advanced hearing technologies, invisible hearing aids are designed to improve hearing in noisy environments, sound more natural, eliminate whistling, and let you talk comfortably on the phone. Choose from 2 styles. Both sound great and are so small only you'll know you're wearing them.
Visit one of our 9 Twin Cities locations. We're also in Duluth and Virginia. Or call 1-866-488-4434 today to find the location nearest you.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, Christian Ponder, the Wild, Zach Parise, the Timberwolves, Ricky Rubio, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first. For details, go to ticketkingonline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
There it is, corner of Lagoon and Fremont in Uptown Bar, Abilene. For reservations, 612-825-2525. You got a glimpse of the food. It's even better in your mouth. Stop on by.
Summer's over, boys. Training camp starts
coming up
Friday.
This, Thursday they check
End
in
of
Friday.
summer.
Cowboys already reported.
Did they really?
Yes, they're in
they got the early game?
They're in Oxnard now. No, it's like
They got
it's the Ravens and someone else in there. I don't know what the Cowboys are, because Jerry Jones wants to be the first one to open his mouth.
How do you feel about the Vikings going to training camp this week?
I am not as sure of Vikings having a good year
Here we go.
as other people are. I just think, I said it not to be repetitious, they lost 4 players who were pretty good. Winfield, Hartman, Kluwe did the job, and even Brinkley wasn't great.
Brinkley sucks.
They don't have anybody to
Kluwe could be replaced.
So we'll see how they replace those guys.
Fans are fired up, though. Fans are much more into it than they were a year ago at this time.
Yeah, sure, because they were 10-6.
Yeah.
They were in the playoffs.
They made the playoffs. They should be optimistic.
And they got to
Ticket
get.
sale ain't that good.
You know what I'm worried about, though? I'm worried about Ziggy financially these 2 years before he gets his new stadium, because the revenue sharing check for each team this year was only $179 million. And the Packers only made $54 million this year. I'm a little worried about Ziggy's financials. I'm glad we're building him a $1 billion stadium that's going to cost him nothing, so he can make it financially.
$179 million.
$179 million was the revenue sharing check for each team.
It's a $12 billion industry.
Every team will get a revenue share.
You know, the Packers made $54 million. No, your cut of the take from TV.
So if you get $179 million, then you go, okay, what's our cost for this stuff, the roster? I mean, you can't help but make a lot of money. Is what we're saying.
Yes.
Well, I don't think that's accurate.
No, they're cut from the revenues, from TV,
television,
from gate sales, and from everything. Each team got $179 million, not revenue sharing.
Right. Plus, you're still working on making more money on your ancillary stuff.
Yeah.
The only reason they want a new stadium, all these guys, so they can have those seats they can charge more money for.
Yeah, that's right. Then you can make it. There won't be an NFL team ever sold again for less than $2 billion.
That's right.
You're probably right.
That's right.
You're right.
Yep. And LA.
Well, we'll see how the TV starts affecting them eventually. It's so darn good.
Oh, HD.
It's so good to watch.
Well, yeah, it can affect your attendance, but it also helps you on the other end. It's television and football are the greatest marriage of all time.
And NFL does the right thing.
And they figured out how to keep away from blackouts. They just don't have them anymore.
That's right.
They just say everybody sold enough tickets. Put the game on TV.
Yep. Yeah, God, it's weird in the old days, you know.
They will not have blackouts eventually, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Go for football. How you feeling now? This is fairly optimistic coming in?
I think
Media
they got
day
a very
this week
good
in
schedule.
Chicago. Yeah.
I think they got a chance.
You're concerned about San Jose?
Huh?
You're concerned about San Jose?
Yeah. San Jose might be tough. They got a great quarterback. I think.
How about Eastern Illinois?
Because they played so well
He's
against
not as concerned about
Texas Tech, I think they'll be pretty good. They ain't going to beat Nebraska. They aren't going to beat Michigan. Maybe not Wisconsin, but all the other teams on the schedule, they got
LaVelle, you look like you're
a chance against.
Have you heard this before?
What the hell do we know that the Gophers do well? Tell me what they do well. What is the Gopher strength?
You're an expert on Gopher football too, huh? What are you an expert on?
What do they do well,
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Call 1-866-CAMBRIA. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Bar Abilene at Lagoon and Fremont in uptown Minneapolis. And Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL, proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.